my boy Phumlani. The mountain mover.
Hello friends, my name is Phumlani Nkwanyana. I'm born again. I have just few words to share with you. Let us go to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 11. We'll start reading from verse 4. It's the only verse that we will read. Chapter 11 verse 4. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Let me repeat these words before I can even pray. Whoever watches the wind will not plant, and whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. These are the words spoken by the man who was very wise, the man Solomon. He was a very wise man, and he wrote these words. Now here he's saying something which just struck my mind and struck my heart, and I could not resist it. I had to go through and understand what this man was trying to say by saying, whoever watches the wind will not plant, and whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Yeah, he says, every time you look at the situation, you will not do what you intend to do, but you must look beyond the situation, and you'll be able to achieve, and you'll be able to see the desires of your heart and the result of the things that you want to see. In other words, if you see the struggle and don't see the victory, you will never taste victory, but you will always live in struggle. In other words, don't see the situation as it is, but see the end result of the situation. The wise man here is saying, if you look at the clouds, if you look at the wind, you will never be able to plant and reap. In other words, if you look at the situation, if you look at the pain that you are currently going through, you will spend most of your time speaking about the pain and speaking about the bad situation. But you don't have to speak what you see now, but you must speak the things that you want to see after the situation. Because many people spend their time explaining and describing how bad is their situation. Now the Bible says if we focus on the situation, we cannot live in victory, we cannot live in peace, because we'll always spend our time looking at how bad is the situation. Even Jesus, when he was here on earth, he did not look at the situations. He did not focus on the situation. That is why when he was going through the process of going to the cross, even though he was feeling the pain, even though he was being nailed and mocked and beaten so badly, but he had something in his mind. He had the vision of saving nations. In other words, if you are going through the situation, you must have the end result of the situation, so that you keep on going and keep on moving forward, even if things are not going your way. Jesus was mocked, he was spit on, he was beaten, he was bruised, and he was nailed on the cross, but he did not give up, because in his mind he had the vision of saving nations. If Jesus gave up on the cross, I was not going to be saved today. If Jesus gave up on the cross, I was not going to be liberated from my sins. But because Jesus had the vision to save the world, he had the vision to save nations, he had the vision to liberate us from our transgressions, he had a vision, and he saw us in his mind before saving us. He saw me before saving me. I just want to speak to people today that are going through situations, that you will never come out of your situation if you don't see yourself out of the situation. The only thing that's killing people and destroying people is because they don't see themselves out of the situation. And if you don't see yourself successful, you will never be successful. You must act being successful until you are successful. You will never become what you want to be if you don't see yourself as what you want to see yourself as. In other words, see what you want to be before before you can become what you want to be. Exercises in your mind, practices in your body, practices in your brain and in your imagination. Don't look at things and just conclude with what you see, but see beyond the situation. There is power to see beyond what you see right now. But the Bible says, if you watch the wind, you will never plant. You are always complaining how horrible are you. You are always complaining that your mother was born poor and you are poor, and you will also be poor, and your children will always be poor. Every day mawuvuka ucomplaina ngezinto ezingahambi kahle. Stop complaining and start decreeing things to happen in your way empilweni yakho. Stop complaining and stop shifting blame to other people, but start saying things and start speaking what you want to see in your